Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's live trading action video. My name is Gareth Soloway. Let's get into the action today. In today's video, we're going to discuss the airline stocks and what's going on and why there might be some exponential risk over the next few days. All right, so again, as you can see, AAL is trading up about 3%, basically at 52-week highs right here. It's had an amazing run from a low of really about $28. So think about that, from $28 to $45.5. We're not that far away from being probably around 75% gain on the stock just from the lows in October. Now, the key here is to recognize two factors. Number one, OPEC. So if we go to oil's chart, the USO, oil is basically flat on the day, but it's right at the 52-week lows. In fact, it's at multi-year lows. Now, OPEC is going to release their statement tomorrow, and the big question is, do they say something that causes oil to spike? If they do, and this is the risk factor on these airline stocks, you have to recognize this. This is big. All right, now they may not say anything. I would say if they keep oil the same, oil price may come down a couple pennies. You know, it's not going to be a big fall because already the markets are anticipating they won't cut production. Okay, they won't cut production, OPEC, right? So the risk here is if OPEC does do something to cause a spike in oil, the airline stocks will obviously react enormously to the negative side, because what's the biggest input cost for a flight or an airline stock? Obviously fuel, right? So if you see literally a $3, $4, $5 spot price in crude jump, you could see 5%, 6%, even as high as 7% drops on these airline stocks as early as Friday. Now, again, there's a small chance of that, don't get me wrong. It's not like that's going to happen necessarily 100%. But my point is, if it's even a 10% or 20% chance of that happening, you have a lot of risk to the downside that you're taking on going into the holiday. Okay, understand that? So again, let's just say on Friday oil opens up here and jumps, the USO jumps back to like 30.5, which would be about a $2 move, or a $2.50 move, which would be a big move. Don't get me wrong, that'd be $5-6 easy, maybe even more on oil. If that does happen, and you take a look at AAL again, which has run up literally 70%, 75% from these lows, I mean, you could see the AAL down to about 38 and change. I mean, it could easily drop down here. So that's just something I want to point out to investors out there, more so those that are holding these airline stocks. I think you want to be at least a little bit more conservative. They've had such a big run here, and coming into these unknowns, you just want to be a little bit more careful. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you guys. Come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. There are trade setups here on these airline stocks if you know how to play them properly. So I encourage you to come join us and find out how to play them. Join the Research Center, take the 7-day free trial, and again, profit with the pros. Take care, guys.